A nuclear submarine just surfaced in the middle of the Tiber River. The year is 44 BC. Julius Caesar was assassinated 3 days ago, and now a 377-foot steel machine is rising from the water in the heart of ancient Rome. The crew of the USS Virginia had no warning. One moment they were on routine patrol in the Atlantic. The next, their GPS was dead. Their satellite comms showed nothing, and through the periscope they saw Rome, ancient, enormous, and completely unprepared for what just arrived. The USS Virginia is a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, 377 feet long, 7,800 tons, 132 crew, Tomahawk missiles capable of hitting a target 1,500 miles away, enough reactor fuel to run for 33 years without refueling. The most advanced Roman weapon is a ballista, a giant crossbow that hurls a 60-pound boulder 300 yards. That is not a gap. It is an abyss. One side has weapons that do not exist in any Roman vocabulary. The other side has never encountered anything it could not eventually conquer. Rome in 44 BC is not a primitive civilization. 1 million people live in the city, the largest population of any urban center on Earth, for the next 1,500 years. Their road network covers 250,000 miles across 3 continents. Their legions can march 20 miles a day, build a fortified camp every single night, and field 5,000 disciplined soldiers per unit. They have concrete, plumbing, and a legal code that still forms the basis of Western law today. These are not confused villagers. These are the most organized, most ruthless people who ever walked the earth. But here is what the Romans are facing that nothing in their training prepared them for. A beam of light from a device with no flame. Sound traveling 50 miles in every direction from a single explosion. Metal that does not rust, medicine that stops infections they have watched kill thousands. The crew is not trying to impress anyone, they are just surviving. But every mundane action, charging a radio, opening a vacuum-sealed food pack, turning on a flashlight, looks like divine intervention to anyone who grew up in 44 BC. The conning tower opens. One crew member steps onto the deck. The Praetorian guard on the bank stares. Nobody moves. This standoff lasts 4 minutes because one of the crew is filming everything on a tablet, and the footage survives in the ship's archive. Then the Roman centurion makes a decision. He does not attack. He sends a runner back to the city to get someone with more authority. This is the most Roman response possible, facing something completely unknown and immediately asking for a manager. Below deck, the captain is running diagnostics. Reactor stable, weapons green. But every satellite signal is gone, because there are no satellites yet. The navigation officer pulls up a historical star chart database. The current star positions match the Mediterranean sky in approximately 44 BC. She runs the calculation 3 times. Same result every time. By nightfall, a delegation from the Roman Senate arrives at the riverbank. 12 senators, freshly bloodied from the political fallout of Caesar's assassination and deeply practiced in the art of evaluating power. They send lawyers. Of course they send lawyers. The crew's intelligence officer speaks first. Her Latin is academic, the written Latin of Cicero, not the street dialect of the Subura. But it is recognizable. One senator responds. The words are thick and the accent completely alien, but the structure is there. They are communicating. Roughly. The first thing the senators ask, once they confirm she can understand, is not what are you or where are you from. It is, who do you fight for? Rome's first instinct, facing something it has never seen before, is to establish the chain of command. The crew brings one item off the submarine for the first formal meeting. A flashlight. The intelligence officer clicks it on in broad daylight. Two senators step backward instinctively. One leans forward and tries to grab the beam of light. Finds nothing there. The senators deliberate quietly for less than a minute. Their conclusion are translated in the ship's log. Whatever this is, it thinks. That is the Roman response to a device that costs $4 and runs on 2 batteries. Not fear, not worship, analysis. Rome is ready to negotiate. The captain has 90 days of food, 33 years of reactor fuel, and a weapons loadout that could flatten the city 3 times over. He also has 132 people who are never going home. No rescue is coming. No one in the 21st century even knows they exist anymore. They are stranded permanently in 44 BC Rome. His decision is the real question this entire scenario is asking. When you have overwhelming power, no accountability, and no way home, what kind of person do you become? The Senate wants a demonstration of the machine's power. The captain agrees to one controlled test. In an uninhabited valley 50 miles outside Rome, a single Tomahawk missile is launched. The explosion is visible from the city walls. The shockwave rattles every window in Rome. Birds do not return to that valley for 3 days. The Senate reconvenes within the hour. The vote is unanimous. This machine and the people inside it are now under the protection of the Roman Republic. The captain notes in his log, "This is not protection. This is claiming." But the crew does not belong to Rome, and the captain is thinking 33 years ahead. When the reactor runs out, they are 132 ordinary people with no fuel, no resupply, and no weapons manufacturing capability. The Tomahawks are a finite stock. Medical supplies will run out within months. The real survival threat is not the Romans. It is time. Rome has been building for 700 years. It can wait. The crew has 90 days of food. To survive, they need to become Roman before Rome decides to simply wait them out. The captain proposes a trade, not conquest, not tribute, a technology exchange. The crew will share specific knowledge, basic germ theory, concrete reinforcement techniques, steel production improvements, in exchange for protected status and full Roman citizenship for all 132 crew members. The Senate accepts within the hour. A Praetorian detail is assigned to guard the submarine. The Senate announces to the Roman people that divine emissaries have arrived. The crew does not correct them. Sometimes the fastest path to survival is the one already paved. Within 1 year, Roman battlefield medicine changes. Wash hands, boil water, isolate the sick. Battlefield mortality drops by 1/3. Within a decade, Roman steel improves using techniques from the crew's engineering manuals. A primitive electrical signaling system begins running along the Appian Way. Within a generation, the children of the crew have learned Latin perfectly, married into Roman families, and sit on advisory councils. The Roman Empire, which was supposed to peak in the 2nd century AD and spend 300 years slowly collapsing, is accelerating instead. It never falls. It industrializes. But here is what nobody talks about. Rome was built on slavery. 35% of its population were enslaved. Faster technology in a slave economy does not free the enslaved. It makes their exploitation more efficient. And the barbarian invasions that eventually collapsed Rome, which accidentally created the conditions for medieval democracy and the eventual Enlightenment, never happen in this timeline. Rome is too strong now. Progress and freedom are not the same thing. A more powerful civilization is not automatically a better one. The scariest part of this scenario is not the submarine. It is the Senate's first question after seeing it. Who controls this, and how do we get it? Not awe, not fear, not wonder. Calculation. Rome looked at a nuclear submarine and immediately started thinking about ownership. And the uncomfortable truth is, That is exactly what every modern government would do today. Some things about power have not changed in 2,000 years. If that made you think differently about the world, subscribe. Because we are just getting started.